The galaxy's truth revealed. In a galaxy filled with trillions of stars and countless civilizations, one rule stood above all others: obey the Galactic Federation. For thousands of years, the Federation had governed 99.9% of the galaxy. Their rules were strict but fair, or so they claimed. Planets that followed their laws enjoyed peace and trade. Those that rebelled were wiped out without mercy. It was a system that worked. Until Earth came into the picture. Earth, a small blue planet on the edge of the galaxy, was different. While most planets bowed to the Federation's power, Earth stood firm. They refused to join the Federation, refused to follow their laws, and, most shocking of all, refused to explain why. This defiance baffled the Federation and enraged its leaders. "They think they're special," scoffed High Commander Orvax, the Federation's enforcer. "No planet is above the Federation. If Earth refuses to obey, we'll make them an example for the galaxy to see." But before launching an attack, the Federation decided to investigate. Was Earth hiding a secret weapon? Did they have allies? Or were they simply too foolish to understand the consequences of defiance? To uncover the truth, the Federation sent one of their best spies, an agent known only as Krail. Krail was a shapeshifter, capable of blending into any environment. He had infiltrated the most secure planets in the galaxy and brought back secrets that toppled empires. This mission, however, was unlike anything he had ever faced. "Your mission is simple," Orvax told Krail. "Find out why Earth refuses to obey. If they're planning something dangerous, report back immediately. If they're just being stubborn, we'll destroy them." With his orders clear, Krail boarded a stealth ship and set a course for Earth. The journey took only a few days, but for Krail, it felt longer. Something about this mission unsettled him. He had studied Earth's history and found it peculiar. Unlike most planets, Earth had no centralized government. Its people were divided into nations, each with its own rules and leaders. Yet somehow, they had avoided destroying themselves. They were creative, adaptable, and unpredictable, traits that made them both fascinating and dangerous. When Krail's ship finally entered Earth's atmosphere, he was disguised as an ordinary human. He landed in a bustling city, blending in with the crowds. The sights and sounds overwhelmed him at first. Humans moved quickly, talking and laughing as if they had no idea their planet was being watched by a powerful enemy. Krail activated his scanning device, which detected advanced technology hidden beneath the surface of the city. "Interesting," he muttered. "They're more advanced than they let on." As Krail observed, he noticed something even more surprising: the human spirit. Despite their differences, they worked together in ways he had never seen on other planets. They helped each other, shared ideas, and fought for what they believed in. It was clear that Earth's strength didn't come from its technology or weapons. It came from its people. But not everything was perfect. Krail witnessed humans arguing, fighting, and making mistakes. Yet even in their flaws, there was something remarkable. They learned from their failures, grew stronger, and refused to give up. For days, Krail gathered information, trying to understand what made Earth so unique. He hacked into communication networks, studied their governments, and even visited scientific research centers. What he found was astonishing. Earth had developed technology that could rival the Federation's best inventions, but they kept it hidden. Why? Krail couldn't be sure, but one thing was clear: the humans were preparing for something big. Then, something unexpected happened. While Krail was exploring a lab, his disguise malfunctioned for a brief moment. A scientist noticed the glitch and raised an alarm. "Who are you?" the scientist demanded, stepping closer. Krail's mind raced. If he revealed his true identity, his mission would be over. He quickly used his shape-shifting abilities to regain his human form and slipped away before the authorities could arrive. But the incident left him shaken. "They're more observant than I thought," Krail whispered to himself. "I need to be more careful." As he returned to his ship to report his findings, Krail couldn't shake the feeling that he had only scratched the surface of Earth's secrets. The planet's defiance wasn't just about refusing the Federation's laws. There was something deeper, something that could change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. When Krail sent his report to the Federation, he chose his words carefully. Earth is not like the others. Their strength lies not in their technology, but in their spirit. Destroying them will not be as easy as you think. High Commander Orvax read the report with a scowl. Spirit, he growled. Spirit doesn't win wars. We'll crush them like all the others. But Krail wasn't so sure. As he looked out at the stars, he wondered if Earth's defiance was a warning, not just to the Federation, but to the entire galaxy. What if, Krail thought, this tiny planet is the key to something greater than any of us can imagine? And with that, the stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the galaxy to its core. Earth's secret was still hidden, but not for long. The Federation was coming, and humanity was ready. The spies' first encounter. Krail stood on the busy streets of Earth, blending in perfectly with the humans around him. The noise, the movement, the energy, it was unlike anything he had seen on other planets. Humans were chaotic, unpredictable, and yet strangely efficient. As a spy, Krail had always prided himself on his ability to understand his surroundings, but here on Earth, nothing made sense. He walked through the marketplace, observing the humans. They argued over prices, laughed with strangers, and shared food with those in need. Krail's training told him to look for weaknesses, but all he saw was a strange kind of strength. These humans, with their countless differences, had found ways to live together in relative harmony. Krail's scanning device beeped softly in his pocket, alerting him to a signal nearby. He followed it to a research facility on the outskirts of the city. The building looked ordinary from the outside, but Krail's advanced sensors detected layers of security technology. Earth was hiding something here. Using his shape-shifting abilities, Krail transformed into the likeness of a security guard he had seen earlier. With his new form, he slipped past the facility's entrance undetected. Inside, he found scientists working on machines and experiments that rivaled the Federation's technology. What are they planning? Krail wondered, his curiosity growing. As he explored further, he noticed a strange device being tested in one of the labs. It emitted a faint glow and pulsed with energy unlike anything he had seen before. Before Krail could investigate further, a human scientist walked into the room. The scientist, a middle-aged man with sharp eyes, noticed Krail immediately. "Hey, you're not supposed to be in here," he said, stepping closer. Krail's mind raced. He had been trained for situations like this. Keeping his calm, he nodded and said, "I'm new here, just checking the systems." But the scientist wasn't convinced. He narrowed his eyes and glanced at Krail's badge. "Your ID doesn't look right. Who are you?" Before Krail could respond, his scanning device, still active in his pocket, emitted a loud beep. The scientist's expression shifted to alarm. "What is that?" he demanded, reaching for the device. Krail knew he had been exposed. In a split second, he dropped his disguise, revealing his alien form. The scientist froze, his eyes wide with shock. You're not human," the scientist stammered. Krail moved quickly, disabling the lab's security cameras and locking the door. "You're right," he said. "But if you want to live, you'll listen to me carefully." The scientist, though terrified, nodded. Krail explained that he was here on a reconnaissance mission. He warned the scientist about the Federation and its plans to destroy Earth if it didn't comply. "You think you can stand against them?" Krail asked. "The Federation doesn't lose." To Krail's surprise, the scientist's fear turned to defiance. "You don't know humans," he said. "We've faced impossible odds before. We'll face them again." Krail was stunned by the man's confidence. Most civilizations crumbled at the mere mention of the Federation's power, but not Earth. There was something different about these humans, something Krail couldn't quite understand. Before Krail could press further, alarms blared throughout the facility. Security forces were on their way. The scientist turned to Krail and said, "If you're here to spy, you've already seen enough. Leave before it's too late." Krail hesitated for a moment, then activated his cloaking device and disappeared into the shadows. As he slipped out of the facility, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had underestimated these humans. Back at his temporary base, Krail reviewed the data he had collected. The energy readings from the device in the lab were unlike anything the Federation had encountered before. If the humans had truly developed such technology, they might be more dangerous than anyone realized. But there was something else, something Krail couldn't explain. It wasn't just the technology or the defiance that set Earth apart. It was the people. Their resilience, their determination, their ability to unite despite their differences. It was unlike anything he had seen in the galaxy. As Krail prepared to send another report to the Federation, he found himself hesitating. For the first time in his career, he felt conflicted about his mission. Was Earth truly a threat, or was it something more? He typed his report carefully, choosing his words with precision. "The humans are not what we expected. Their strength lies not in their weapons, but in their unity. They are unlike any civilization we have encountered before. Proceed with caution." As Krail sent the report, he looked out at the bustling city below. The humans had no idea what was coming, and yet they seemed ready for anything. For the first time, Krail began to wonder if the Federation had finally met its match. A message from the stars. The following morning, Earth's leaders gathered at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The air was thick with tension. They had received a signal, a message from deep space. It wasn't a garbled, mysterious transmission like in science fiction movies. This was clear, deliberate, and unmistakably alien. The Secretary General, a calm but visibly shaken woman, stood at the podium as the message played for the assembly. "This is the Galactic Federation." The voice began, deep and resonant, translated into flawless English. "Earth has defied the balance of the galaxy. You have created technology that threatens the harmony of countless civilizations. Surrender and submit to the Federation, or face annihilation." The room erupted into chaos. Delegates argued, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of fear and defiance. Some demanded surrender, unwilling to risk the wrath of an advanced alien civilization. Others insisted that Earth had to stand its ground, no matter the cost. In the midst of the commotion, Dr. Elias Grant, the same scientist who had encountered Krail, stood quietly. He knew something the others didn't. Earth wasn't defenseless. The device he and his team had been working on wasn't just experimental anymore. It was operational. "Madam Secretary General," Dr. Grant said, stepping forward, "if I may speak." The room quieted, and all eyes turned to him. Dr. Grant explained what he had discovered the night before. He described Krail's infiltration and the alien spies' warning about the Federation's power. "They think they can intimidate us," Dr. Grant said. "But what they don't understand is that we've already developed the means to protect ourselves." He revealed the project his team had been working on, a device capable of generating a planetary shield strong enough to repel any known attack. It was powered by a unique energy source discovered deep beneath the Earth's crust, something no other planet had. The delegates listened in awe, but questions quickly followed. "What if the shield fails?" one asked. "What if we provoke them further?" said another. "And how do we even know we can trust you?" Dr. Grant held his ground. "I saw their spy with my own eyes," he said. "The Federation underestimates us because they think we're divided and weak. But if we stand together, we can show them that humanity won't be bullied." Meanwhile, in a hidden base orbiting Earth, Krail was monitoring the humans' response. His report to the Federation had already been sent, but now he found himself doubting the Federation's course of action. As he watched the humans debate, he noticed something remarkable. Unlike other civilizations he had observed, where fear turned into chaos, the humans seemed to grow stronger under pressure. Their arguments weren't signs of weakness. They were part of their process. "They're not afraid," Krail muttered to himself. "They're preparing." Back on Earth, the Secretary General made a decision. She stood before the assembly and said, "We will not surrender. Humanity has always faced challenges that seemed impossible. We've survived wars, disasters, and our own flaws, and we will survive this." Her speech was broadcast across the planet, inspiring billions. People took to the streets, not in panic, but in unity. They marched with signs that read, "We stand together, and Earth will not bow." As the Federation's fleet drew closer, their ships visible through powerful telescopes, humanity braced itself for the fight of its life. Dr. Grant's team worked tirelessly to activate the shield, while world leaders coordinated their defenses. Krail, still observing, received a direct message from the Federation. "Begin Phase 1 of the invasion." The message read. Krail hesitated. He had never disobeyed an order before, but something inside him wouldn't let him follow through. The humans weren't like the other civilizations the Federation had conquered. They weren't cowards, nor were they reckless. They were resilient. For the first time in his career, Krail made a choice. He opened a private channel and sent an anonymous message to Earth. "They're coming," the message read, "but you're stronger than you think." Dr. Grant received the message and shared it with the Secretary General. Though they didn't know its source, the message gave them hope. As Earth's defenses came online and the Federation's fleet entered the solar system, one thing was clear: the battle for humanity's survival had begun. The invasion begins. The Federation fleet appeared in Earth's orbit like a storm of silver and black. Thousands of massive warships hung in the void, their weapons glowing with alien energy. From every major city on Earth, people looked to the skies in fear. The message from the fleet's commander came next, broadcast on every screen, in every language. The voice was cold and devoid of emotion. "You were given a chance to surrender. Now you will face the consequences of your defiance." On the ground, chaos threatened to erupt. People scrambled for safety, and governments issued evacuation orders for key cities. But amidst the panic, the world's leaders held firm. In the United Nations War Room, the Secretary General addressed a council of military commanders. "We knew this day might come. It's time to show the Federation what humanity is capable of." Dr. Grant was in his lab, monitoring the planetary shield. His team had managed to activate the device, and a shimmering dome of energy now surrounded Earth. It wasn't visible to the naked eye, but satellites showed a protective barrier encasing the planet. When the first wave of Federation ships descended, their weapons unleashed beams of energy powerful enough to obliterate continents. But as the attacks struck the shield, they dissipated harmlessly, like waves crashing against a cliff. In one of the Federation ships, Krail watched the events unfold. He couldn't help but feel a strange sense of pride for the humans. They had managed to do the impossible, stand up to the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. "This isn't going to be easy," Krail muttered. The Federation commander, a ruthless being known as Frenak, ordered a second wave of attacks. Smaller ships broke through the atmosphere, aiming to breach the shield by overwhelming it. They targeted weak points in the barrier, hoping to force a collapse. On the ground, Earth's military forces were ready. Jets and drones took to the skies, armed with weapons enhanced by the same energy source powering the planetary shield. Human pilots, trained to the second, intercepted the alien ships in dogfights that lit up the heavens. In the streets, civilians joined the effort in any way they could. They delivered supplies, reinforced shelters, and helped one another find safety. Humanity was united like never before. One of the smaller alien ships managed to land near a rural town in Texas. The crew, a group of 6 Federation soldiers, disembarked with orders to destroy local power stations, but they didn't expect resistance. A group of locals, armed with little more than hunting rifles and sheer determination, confronted the aliens. Among them was a retired soldier named Marcus, who had seen combat in Earth's wars. "This is our home," Marcus said, standing his ground. If you want it, you'll have to fight for it. The battle was fierce. Though outgunned, the humans used their knowledge of the terrain and their unrelenting spirit to drive the aliens back. By the time reinforcements arrived, the Federation soldiers had been defeated, their ship disabled. News of the victory spread quickly, sparking hope across the planet. People realized that the Federation wasn't invincible. Back on the Federation flagship, Vrenok slammed his fist against the control panel. "How are they resisting us?" he demanded. Krail, still stationed on one of the ships, felt torn. He had always believed in the Federation's superiority, but Earth was proving otherwise. He decided to intervene in his own way. Using his knowledge of the Federation's tactics, he sent another anonymous message to Earth's leaders. Target their communication systems. Disrupt their coordination. It's your best chance. The humans acted quickly. Using experimental technology, they'd managed to jam the Federation's long-range signals. Chaos erupted among the alien fleet as ships lost contact with one another. For the first time in its history, the Galactic Federation was on the defensive. As the battle raged on, Krail watched from the sidelines, his allegiance wavering. He had a choice to make: continue serving the Federation, or help the humans in their fight for survival. In the skies above Earth, the tide of the battle began to shift. The Federation had underestimated humanity's resolve, and now they were paying the price. But the war was far from over. The Federation still had its most powerful weapons in reserve, and Vrenok was determined to use them. Krail knew that the next phase of the invasion would be unlike anything the humans had faced so far, and he knew that if he didn't act soon, Earth's newfound hope could be extinguished in an instant. The Federation strikes back. The Federation, reeling from its unexpected losses, regrouped. In the flagship's war chamber, Commander Vrenok paced furiously. His cold eyes scanned the holographic display of Earth's defenses. "These humans," he growled, "are more resourceful than we anticipated. But their defiance ends now." He activated a terminal, summoning the Federation's most devastating weapon. A planetary disruptor, a weapon capable of tearing apart the very fabric of a planet's core. The disruptor had never been used before, as its power was enough to annihilate all life on a world in minutes. "Prepare the disruptor," Vrenok commanded. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dr. Grant and his team were monitoring the Federation fleet. They noticed a sudden change in the enemy's movements. A massive ship, larger than anything Earth had ever seen, positioned itself at the front of the fleet. It began emitting strange energy readings that sent alarms blaring across every lab and military base. Dr. Grant's heart sank. "This isn't just another attack," he said. "They're preparing to destroy the planet itself." At the United Nations War Room, the Secretary General listened as Grant explained the threat. "We have one chance," he said. "We need to disable that weapon before it fires." "But how?" a military leader asked. "Our weapons can't penetrate their main ship's defenses." Before Grant could answer, another message arrived. It was from Krail, the mysterious informant who had been helping Earth in secret. "I have the coordinates of their disruptor," the message read. "You must act quickly. Once it charges, it cannot be stopped." Despite their initial suspicions, the humans decided to trust the message. A daring plan was formed. A strike team would infiltrate the Federation's flagship and disable the disruptor from within. The team was composed of Earth's best and brightest. Commander Hayes, a decorated astronaut and military leader. Lieutenant Zhao, a tech expert who had hacked into Federation systems before. And Dr. Grant himself, who insisted on going because of his knowledge of alien technology. As the strike team prepared, the world watched in silence. Broadcasts of the mission were shared everywhere, from bustling cities to remote villages. Humanity's fate rested on the shoulders of a few brave individuals. The Federation, unaware of the humans' plan, continued to charge the disruptor. Krail, now deeply conflicted, watched from his station aboard the flagship. He had risked everything by sending the humans the disruptor's location. If he was discovered, he would be executed for treason. When the strike team launched from Earth in a stealth shuttle, Krail made his next move. Using his authority as an intelligence officer, he manipulated the ship's internal systems to grant them a small window of opportunity. As the shuttle approached the flagship, alarms sounded. Federation fighters swarmed toward the intruders, but Earth's forces provided cover, engaging in a fierce space battle to buy the team time. Inside the shuttle, Commander Hayes barked orders. "We only get one shot at this. Stick to the plan." The shuttle docked with the flagship, and the team quickly infiltrated the ship's corridors. Krail's assistance allowed them to bypass several security systems, but the deeper they went, the more resistance they faced. Federation soldiers, armed with advanced weapons, engaged them in intense firefights. Lieutenant Joe worked frantically to hack into the ship's systems, disabling doors and cameras as the team pushed forward. Dr. Grant, though a scientist, proved his courage by helping fend off attackers with a modified plasma weapon. Finally, they'd reached the disruptor chamber. The weapon was massive, its core glowing with unstable energy. Vrenok himself stood before it, flanked by elite guards. "So the humans have come to die," Vrenok sneered. Commander Hayes didn't hesitate. Not today. A brutal fight erupted. The team faced overwhelming odds, but their determination kept them going. Zhao managed to disable the disruptor shield, allowing Grant to overload its core. The weapon began to destabilize, but the countdown to its activation continued. As the team fought to escape, Krail appeared. He had taken the risk of revealing himself to help the humans. "This way," he shouted, leading them to an escape route. They hesitated, unsure if they could trust him, but Hayes nodded. "We don't have a choice." The team followed Krail, barely escaping as the disruptor's core exploded, destroying the flagship's weapon systems. The blast sent shockwaves through the Federation fleet, leaving them disoriented and vulnerable. Back on Earth, cheers erupted as news of the mission's success spread. For the first time, humanity had struck a decisive blow against the Galactic Federation. But Krail knew this victory came at a cost. The Federation would retaliate with even greater force, and now his own life was in danger. As the strike team returned to Earth, they prepared for what would come next. The war was far from over, but humanity had proven that it wouldn't go down without a fight. The Federation's ultimatum. The Federation's defeat of its disruptor weapon shocked the galaxy. Never before had a species so underdeveloped managed to stand up to such overwhelming power. Across alien worlds, whispers of humanity's resistance spread like wildfire. But on the Federation flagship, chaos reigned. Commander Vrenok, battered and furious after the humans' daring assault, stood in front of his surviving officers. "This is no longer a military operation," he growled. "This is a lesson. The galaxy must see the price of rebellion." Vrenok prepared the Federation's next move, an ultimatum. Earth would either surrender within 24 hours, or the fleet would unleash its most devastating weapon, a barrage of antimatter bombs capable of wiping out all life on the planet. On Earth, leaders received the message with grim faces. Vrenok's ultimatum played on every screen. "Humans, you have proven yourselves resourceful, but resistance is futile. Surrender now, or your planet will burn." The countdown began. A divided humanity. The ultimatum threw Earth into turmoil. In some parts of the world, fear took hold. People demanded that the leaders surrender to save what remained of humanity. Others, however, rallied, insisting that survival meant fighting to the last breath. In a secret underground base, Dr. Grant, Commander Hayes, and Lieutenant Zhao reviewed their options. The Federation's fleet had regrouped, its defenses stronger than ever. The odds of stopping them seemed slim. "We can't give up now," Hayes said firmly. "If we surrender, they'll enslave us, or worse." Grant, however, looked troubled. "We need more than just weapons. The planetary shield won't hold against antimatter bombs, and our forces can't take on the entire fleet." It was then that Krail, the Federation defector, stepped forward. He had escaped capture after helping the strike team in the last battle, and now offered Earth his knowledge. "They'll never expect you to go after their command center," Krail said. Hayes raised an eyebrow. "Their command center? You mean the core of their operations?" Krail nodded. "It's not on a ship. The Federation's leadership operates from an orbital station hidden just beyond the edge of your solar system. If you destroy it, you'll cripple their ability to coordinate this attack." The room fell silent. The plan was bold, almost suicidal, but it was the only way to force the Federation to retreat. The final mission. As the countdown ticked closer to zero, Earth's leaders made their decision. A second strike team was formed, this time with one mission: infiltrate the Federation's command station and disable its operations. The team included the same heroes from the last mission: Hayes, Zhao, and Grant, along with a group of elite soldiers. Krail insisted on joining them. "I know the station's layout. Without me, you won't make it." The shuttle launched under the cover of Earth's defenses, slipping through the chaos of the ongoing battle in orbit. Krail had provided a stealth route, but the team knew it wouldn't remain undetected for long. As they approached the command station, they saw it for the first time. A massive structure glowing with alien energy, surrounded by fleets of automated drones. "This is it," Hayes said. "We either win here or lose everything." Betrayal in the ranks. Inside the station, the team made swift progress, guided by Krail's knowledge. They reached the central control room, where the Federation's leaders were issuing orders. But just as they prepared to strike, alarms blared. The team had been discovered. Federation soldiers poured into the room, cutting off their escape route. Vrenok himself appeared on a massive holographic display, his voice echoing through the station. "You humans are clever, but you're predictable. Did you really think you could outsmart us twice?" It was then that Krail's true motives came into question. Some of the team began to doubt him. "How did they find us so quickly?" one soldier asked. Krail raised his hands, his face calm. "I didn't betray you, I swear." But the tension in the room threatened to divide the team at the worst possible moment. A desperate gamble. With time running out, Zhao managed to hack into the station's systems. She found a way to disable the Federation fleet's communications, but it came with a cost. The station's self-destruct sequence would activate, giving them only minutes to escape. "We have to do it," Grant said. "It's our only chance." The team agreed, setting the plan in motion. As explosions rocked the station, they fought their way back to the shuttle, dodging relentless attacks. Krail, despite the suspicion against him, proved his loyalty by taking down several Federation soldiers and holding the line so the others could escape. As the shuttle pulled away from the station, the team watched as the massive structure erupted in a blinding explosion. Hope amidst the ashes. The destruction of the command station sent shockwaves through the Federation fleet. Without leadership, their forces faltered. Ships began retreating, and Earth's defenders seized the opportunity to push back. On board the shuttle, Hayes turned to Krail. "If you hadn't helped us, we'd all be dead." Krail simply nodded. "You humans are stubborn. I'll give you that." But even as the team celebrated their victory, they knew the fight wasn't over. The Federation's forces were still vast, and their vengeance would be swift. Back on Earth, people cheered as news of the mission spread. Humanity had bought itself time, but the question remained: how long could they survive against a galaxy that wanted them gone? Humanity's defiant stand. The destruction of the Federation's command station sent ripples across the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, the Federation was in disarray. The fleets surrounding Earth faltered, unsure of how to proceed without orders from their leaders. But Earth's victory was far from secure. The remaining fleet regrouped under the command of Vrenok, who had survived the station's destruction. Enraged and desperate to restore order, Vrenok issued a grim command: "Launch every weapon we have. If we can't control Earth, we will destroy it." The final countdown. On Earth, celebrations of the strike team's success were cut short by warnings from the defense network. The Federation fleet had begun charging their most powerful weapons, intending to wipe out the planet in a single devastating strike. In the underground bunker, Hayes, Zhao, Grant, and Crail reconvened with Earth's leaders. The mood was tense. Every attempt to communicate with the fleet had been met with silence. "They're not just trying to defeat us anymore," Hayes said. "This is extermination." Grant, however, refused to give up. "There's still a chance. If we can use the planetary shield in a new way, we might be able to deflect the blast. But it will take every ounce of energy we have left." It was a gamble. If the shield failed, Earth would have no defenses left. United for survival. As the plan took shape, a call for unity went out across the planet. Engineers, scientists, and military personnel worked side by side, modifying the shield system for maximum output. Civilians contributed in any way they could, from donating resources to organizing rescue shelters in case the shield failed. For the first time, humanity was truly united, not just for survival, but for the hope of a future free from fear. Crail, meanwhile, monitored the Federation fleet's movements. He saw something that gave him pause. "Vrenok isn't bluffing," he said grimly. "He's prepared to destroy Earth, even if it means sacrificing his own fleet." The battle of all battles. The Federation fleet launched its final assault. Massive beams of energy hurtled toward Earth, their destructive power visible from the ground. In the defense bunker, the shield's power core began to overload. Grant and Java worked furiously to stabilize it, but the strain was immense. Sparks flew as systems began to fail. "We need more time," Zhao shouted. Hayes, standing at the control panel, looked at the readings. "We don't have it. We either activate now or it's over." The shield activated just as the first beam struck the atmosphere. A blinding light enveloped the planet as the shield absorbed the impact. For a moment, it seemed as though the plan had worked. But then cracks appeared in the shield. "It's too much," Grant yelled. "The system is collapsing." The spark of hope. Just when all seemed lost, unexpected reinforcements arrived. A fleet of smaller ships, piloted by alien defectors inspired by Earth's resilience, appeared on the battlefield. These rebels had been watching the Federation's tyranny for years, but had never dared to fight back, until now. With the defectors targeting the Federation's weapon systems, the pressure on Earth's shield lessened. The cracks began to stabilize as the planetary defense network found breathing room to repair itself. Crail, seeing his people among the defectors, smiled faintly. "It seems humanity isn't as alone as you thought." Victory through unity. The tide of the battle shifted. With the Federation fleet's weapons disabled and their forces in disarray, Earth launched a counterattack. Coordinated strikes from human and alien rebel ships pushed the Federation into retreat. Vrenok, realizing his defeat, gave one last message to humanity. "You may have won today, but the galaxy will never accept you. Your defiance will cost you everything." With that, his ship vanished into hyperspace, leaving Earth victorious. For now, a new beginning. As the skies cleared and the last of the Federation's fleet fled, Earth's people emerged from their shelters. Cheers erupted across the globe. For the first time in history, humanity had faced an overwhelming enemy, and won. But this victory came at a cost. The shield's power core was nearly destroyed, resources were depleted, and the looming threat of retaliation hung heavy. In a televised address, Hayes spoke to the planet. "We stood together and proved that humanity is stronger than fear. But this is just the beginning. The galaxy knows who we are now, and we will show them what we can become." The camera panned to the night sky, where the stars shone brighter than ever. Among them were the rebel ships, signaling their solidarity with Earth. For humanity, this was not just a fight for survival, it was the dawn of a new era. Together, they would face whatever came next.